The old legend still got it, proving age is just a number. In a couple months, LeBron about to dunk on kids who weren't even born when he got drafted, approaching his 22nd season. Many players that seems to be in the league for a while now, for better or worse, some still much younger than you thought, but the ones who started making headlines the last couple seasons, unfortunately, some older than you expected, and likely on the decline in the coming year. Here are 15 players older than you imagined and 15 younger than anticipated. Older than expected, Chris Duarte of the Chicago Bulls, already 27, was a rookie back in 21-22, fell off ever since a hot start, a one-dimensional player, easy to figure out. First year from 13 a game, averaging less than 4. If Duarte played his best this coming season, some teams might give him 4-year 70. But too bad he was only good briefly as a rookie, doesn't have the defense to play serious minutes, won't get much action if his jumper's not falling. The 6'6 sharpshooter might have to take his talents overseas come next season. Trayce Jackson-Davis, already 24, not 21. The 57 pick, averaged 8 and 5 as a rim runner, energy guy, listed 6'9", but nowhere near as strong or built like his father Dale. Kurt reluctant to give him minutes, bringing in massive energy. The basketball basics for a role player James Wiseman couldn't provide. Buddy Hield, already 31, not 28, will be entering year 9, came into the league as a late 23-year-old. Finally got his first taste of the playoffs last season, briefly with Philly, already a finished product, 40% outside shooter, relied upon as the Klay Thompson replacement. On the bright side, Mr. Durable never missed more than 2 games in each of his 8 seasons. Could become one of the best bargains. Undersized at 6'4", his D will be atrocious to watch, but very stationary, silky smooth jumper. Just needs to know when to give it to Steph. And beware of his crazy shot selections. Likely past his prime days, will turn 32 in December. Almost the same age as Tobias Harris, but Harris himself drafted 5 years earlier than Buddy Buckets. Gary Payton II, already 31, played a very similar role to Bruce Brown during the 22 title run, turns 32 in December. Undrafted, spent lots of time in the G League, out of 9 possible seasons. Only played more than 45 NBA games one time, very injury prone, opted into his player option. Golden State fans don't expect much given he's often hurt, seems too explosive for his own body, especially almost 2 years removed from age 30. The type of guy who'll do his best work to change momentum of games come playoff time, needs to be managed for the regular season. His defense will absolutely be needed against the great Western Conference guards. If Golden State wants any chance to get out the first round, that's if they make the playoffs. Jae'Sean Tate, soon to be 29, the most forgotten all-rookie Team Rocket, more limited as the team builds up, became a deep in the bench small forward under Ime Udoka, will need to play for a new contract. Very limited outside shooting, only 6'4", but fearless driving to the basket as a glute guy and hustler. Next season, a big chance to secure a new contract, a make-or-break year for him. Tate plays very similar to a poor man's PJ Tucker without the 3-ball, but a better scorer near the rim. Jock Landale, soon to be 29 years old, undrafted out of St. Mary's, the Australian center can absolutely thank DeAndre Ayton for making him relevant. Having no business getting minutes in the postseason. Houston signed him to 4 years 32. If not for his efforts playing hard against Jokic, would probably either be overseas or signed for a minimum. Being a 26-year-old rookie with San Antonio, Landale played overseas 3 seasons. Before the lazy soft Ayton disaster, Landale literally a no-namer, known for being one of the worst NBA players talent-wise, but effort, he's in the 90% category. TJ McConnell, already 32, not 28, the former undrafted Arizona Wildcat standout, wasn't supposed to be in the NBA. Undrafted to now, about to enter year 10, an absolute success story by all means, generated lots of buzz for his hard work, channeling his reputation as the white version of Patrick Beverley, more professionalism, manners. In the last year of his contract, TJ literally maximized every ounce of his abilities to max out his efforts as an NBA player. The pathetic Sixers might have had a shot at the conference finals back in 2018 had they elected to play TJ down the stretch Game 2 Boston series instead of the weak-minded opposite attitude Ben Simmons. TJ one of the most joyful players to watch, nothing fancy, just all intensity, plays to win, no attitude problems, the absolute real deal. Duncan Robinson, age 30, from Division III to over $90 million in NBA earnings. After his contract expires, the Miami Heat small forward has silenced his critics, adding a bit more to his game, improved as a passer, back to starting half his games, from what looked like he was the worst contract in the NBA to doubling his points average, his defense not as terrible as years past, understanding Spoel's system well. Miami can still trade him for the right price. Huge kudos to Duncan for resurrecting himself, showing more improvements over the last 12 months than Tyler Hero. The duo of Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins, both already 25. Joe a 4-year $48 extension, Wiggins 5 years $47, two proven role players, but hard to imagine both of the team 2 years from now given the new CBA. Presti will need to make wise decisions. Franchise will aim going all in for the title. Alex Caruso, already age 30, twice the age of trade mate Josh Giddey's ideal type. Laker fans still crying Pelinka let him walk. Being 26 during the bubble run is an absolute travesty. The hard-working defensive stud wasted 3 years on a pathetic no-direction Bulls franchise, making back-to-back defensive teams, already having some injuries. AC back to a contender where he belongs. Could have had several TJ McConnell moments if OKC had AC instead of Giddey for the Dallas series. His defense on Kyrie and Luka could have helped put OKC over the top. The Bulls could have dealt him earlier and gotten draft picks in return, but due to their dysfunction, Thunder having a million picks, Chicago still couldn't get none of those. Chris Boucher, 31, not 27, from winning back-to-back titles with Golden State and Toronto. A great start to his career, but now the declining power forward, a year left on his contract, a well-finished product, takes bad shots, doesn't make the extra pass. Many thought he probably the same age as Precious Achiuwa, who's only 24, not the type of player Coach Darko seems to like. Malcolm Brogdon, 31 already, and teammate Anthony Gill, also 31. The weakest rookie of the year the last decade will turn 32 come December. Gets injured often, from 6-man winner in Boston to scoring 0 points Game 7 loss, now balling out with the light-skinned bros in DC. At least Brogdon will make over a $130 mil after 2025. We can see him dribble the ball, running more shot clock, avoiding Shaq in the fool moments for Jordan Poole. Austin Reaves and Gabe Vincent, AR not 23 but 26. After a 2023 breakout with the Lakers, entering year 4, JJ Redick will likely start him more times than Darvin Ham, averaged around 16.6 times. Regardless of the future of his career, AR already overachieved, likely reaching his peak. Laker fans talk like he's 21. A clutch performer in the playoffs, makes winning plays in crunch time, while Vincent himself looking similar to a Kendrick Nunn situation, injured for nearly all of last season, never got anything going, now age 28 already, from Miami breakout 2 years ago. Many could have sworn he's only 25, but after taking his talents to play with LeBron, seems like James takes all the former Heat players' superpowers, fueling himself with more juice to extend his career as those guards crumble, becoming shell of their former selves. On to younger than expected. Xavier Tillman, only 25, looks 35. Realistically, many thought he's at least 30. From getting minutes on Memphis to even starting a bunch, barely cracking the rotation with Boston, most known for hitting that huge 3 in the finals. Many who don't know of him, if you ask 1,000 random people whether Tillman was born in 1989 or 99, 99% would go with 89. Kevon Looney, only 28, not 34, entering year 10. Older cousin Swaggy P's only 39. Their looks and age should be switching places. Being limited, an all-out hustle rebounding center, could be part of a trade package before becoming a free agent after next season. Having significant injury, surgery repairing a torn labrum on his hip. His body aged by half a decade last season, could barely jump, already exceeded expectations for years, now seems to be regressing. The more athletic Trayce Jackson will likely take most of his minutes. Malik Beasley, only 27, feels like 31. After being buried on the bench by the Lakers to starting nearly every game with the Bucks, average over 11 points, terrible defender, signed 1 year $6 million with Detroit, should be at the age securing a multiple-year deal, but way too streaky as a player. Unfortunately, the league moved on from the all 3 and no D bad contract times. If Beasley was on Portland 2016, would have been getting that Allen Crabbe money. If he gets on massive cold streaks, could quickly find himself out the league. Alperen Sengun, only 22, a future star in the making. Many thought he'd be 24 or 25. Very polished and established for his age, the former 16 pick had the Rockets playing competitive ball, one of the bigger all-star snubs, already in the conversation with Sabonis as second best passing center in the league. The Turkish sensation has all the foundations to become a franchise star and possibly a top 10 player one day. One of those guys many teams will forever be kicking themselves passing up on. Sengun would go number 1 overall today in the 2021 redraft. Steven Adams, still 31, not 36. Had to get surgery, missing all of last season. Memphis wasn't the same without him. Now on Houston, the ultimate bodyguard and peacemaker will certainly put more misbehaved players in their places. Arguably the strongest player in the league will be a free agent by 2026. Regressed a bit from his prime OKC years, depending on the status of his knee. Based on reputation alone, Adams somebody every team would love to have in case something crazy happens. Millions of fans cannot wait to see Big Kiwi back on the hardwood. Miles Turner, only 28, seemed like he was supposed to be traded 28 times with the Pacers and looking like a franchise lifer. Many swear he's at least 30. Entering year 10 in the prime of his career, able to shoot the 3, a 17-7 guy, a stretch 5 who blocks shots well, but not a strong rebounder, a proven 3rd and 4th option guy on a deep playoff team. Being with Halliburton made him better offensively, from fans turning on him for the more talented Sabonis, those Pacer fans all apologizing, asking for forgiveness. Turner has become one of the most likable franchise non-all-stars by a single fan base. Bobby Portis, only 29, seemed like a decade ago when he sent Nikola Mirotic to the Shadow Realm. Signing with the Bucks changed his image and reputation overnight, from viewed empty stats troublemaker on a weak dysfunctional Bulls team to 6-man fan favorite in Milwaukee. Helped the franchise end the 50-year title drought. A lethal outside shooter at 6'10", struggled to fit with Dame Lillard a bit. Offense could get stagnant with him posting up further out. If the Bucks struggle next season, don't be surprised if John Horst trades Portis. Jaden McDaniel, only 23, turns 24 soon. The Wolves' perimeter wings and defense absolutely vicious, given his 6'9 frame, made all defensive second team. Some nights more important on defense than Gobert. His offense still a work in progress, good enough to average 33 minutes last postseason. Extended for 5 years, 131, will have plenty of time to work on his physicality, given his slender frame. A work in progress indeed. Jonathan Isaac, still 26 and not 30 yet, given he's missed almost 3 full seasons due to injury, was only 22 during the bubble, to coming back off the bench, provided suffocating defense with the length and ability to guard 1-5, the 6'10 power forward, literally the minister of defense, under contract till 2029, a magical turnaround season, from forgotten to literally top 10 defender in the NBA. The only thing stopping him, the injuries. Andre Drummond, only 31? Impossible. Being a vet minimum guy for years now, signed 2 years $10 million with Philly, should be getting plenty regular season minutes with Embiid's injury history. Many thought he'd be at least in the mid-30s range, but younger than Buddy Hield and Chris Boucher, spent his prime years on the wasteful Pistons, never took his game seriously in his prime, a frustrating guy to watch for many years, appeared to have been way more humble the last several years, looking to stick around for the rest of the decade when he'll be 36. Kelly Oubre Jr., still 28, not 31, being a super late signing last offseason, agreed to 2 years over 16 mil, a good player for Philly, contributed way more on a minimum deal than the useless maximum Tobias 0 points Harris. Being energetic, can scrap, frustrating at times, him and Paul George together brings interesting times. John Collins, only 26, not 28, super hated with Atlanta from posting empty stats of nearly 20 and 10 by his second season. Can't play with Walker Kessler, a weird fit defensively, has the talent, looking like a trade piece. A struggling franchise like the Bulls might as well take a gamble and pray Collins can become all-star caliber. Jared Allen, still 26, solid center, coming off a career year, seems like he's been playing for about a decade, agreeing to 3 years 91, from talked about as a trade piece. Cleveland waiting on Evan Mobley to develop, but now Allen, reunited with head coach Kenny Atkinson, can get even better. Jonathan Kuminga, still only 21, super polarizing, Kerr reluctant to play him until there was no choice, also a trade piece if the price is right, reportedly seeking a $224 million extension. Lonzo Ball, still 26, his knee's more like 62. The new meniscus transplant can either extend him for another good 6 to 8 years or break his career after next season. We'll truly find out the next couple months. No setbacks, we can only pray for the best. Honorable mentions: Tyler Hero, only 24, many conflicted opinions on him, and free agent Talen Horton Tucker, 23, but looks 33. Now a free agent, yet to be signed. Which one of these players' age shocked you most? Your thoughts on the comments below. See y'all next video.